So I just finished some videos talking about reading back in fifth grade, and I was saying how I didn't read very much. I didn't really like to read that much back then. But I forgot to mention I mentioned a couple that I did read, but mostly I just like looking at pictures. But so there were like maybe a couple books that I did was kind of fascinated with that I did read, but they were scary books, and so some of these like had some of these books had like scary pictures in them too. So I did read some of those, and this I'm pretty sure this is one of them because I do remember some of the like a couple stories that are in this book. So this book is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It's collected from folklore and retold by Alvin Schwartz. Drawings by Stephen Gamble. The drawings are creepy looking. So I was kind of drawn to this book and maybe a couple other ones back in fifth grade. But other than that, I didn't really like to read that much back then. Not like I do now. I really like to read now. Uh, so on the back of the book it says, phantom footsteps, ghostly wails, creatures that go bump in the night. Turn the lights down low. Now get ready for the fright of your life. Here are chilling, thrilling stories that will make you shiver and shake, and make your friends quiver and quake. Guaranteed to cause pleasurable shivers. That's by Publishers Weekly. Misty and Eerie by Bulletin of the Center for Children's Books. Sure to provoke chills along the spine. ALA Book List. Reading level 4.5. What does that mean? Fourth grade? I don't know what that means. Uh, so it's a really easy book to read, especially if you're an adult. But fun kind of stories, especially there's a scary drawing there. Especially if you're interested in horror stories, scary stories. Some of those like nowadays, some movies are too scary for me to watch now. So I don't like all scary stories. Some of them are too scary. Like some of these are kind of scary. Like they're called scary stories, but some of them are actually uh, pretty scary. There's this part in the beginning I wanted to read. Um, I guess it's like a foreword, but it doesn't say foreword. Okay, so it's just like putting you in the mood for reading the rest of the book because this is a collection of stories. Okay, so it's titled "Strange and Scary Things." All right, pioneers used to entertain themselves by telling scary stories. At night, they might gather in somebody's cabin or around a fire and see who could scare the others the most. Some girls and boys in my town do the same thing today. They get together at somebody's house and they turn out the lights and eat popcorn and scare one another half to death. Telling scary stories is something people have done for thousands of years. For most of us, like being scared in that way. Since there isn't any danger, we think it is fun. There are a great many stories. There are a great many scary stories to tell. There are ghost stories. There are tales of witches, devils, boogeymen, zombies, and vampires. There are tales of monstrous creatures and of other dangers. There even are stories that make us laugh at all this scariness. Some of these tales are very old, and they are told around the world, and most have the same origins. They are based on things that people saw or heard or experienced or thought they did. Many years ago, a young prince became famous for a scary story he started to tell, but did not finish. His name was Mamilius, and he probably was 9 or 10 years old. William Shakespeare told about him in The Winter's Tale. It was a dark winter's day that his mother, the queen, asked him for a story. A sad tale's best for winter, he said. I have one of sprites and goblins. Do your best to frighten me with your sprites, she said. You're powerful at it. I shall tell it softly, he said. Yond crickets shall not hear it. And he began. There was a man dwelt by a churchyard, but that was as far as he got. For at that moment the king came in and arrested the queen and took her away. And soon after that Mamilius died. No one knows how he would have finished his story. If you started as he did, what would you tell? Most scary stories are, of course, meant to be told. They are more scary that way. But how you tell them is important. As Mamilius knew, the best way is to speak softly, so that your listeners lean forward to catch your words, and to speak slowly, so that your voice sounds scary. And the best time to tell these stories is at night. In the dark and the gloom, it is easy for someone listening to imagine all sorts of strange and scary things. Princeton, New Jersey. Alvin Schwartz. Yeah, well, that's the author. That's the one who's retelling these stories that are collected from folklore. Okay. Well, at the beginning of this chapter, it says, this chapter is filled with jump stories you can use to make your friends jump with fright. Oh, there is some artwork I didn't show. I want to show all the artwork because it's really good artwork. Okay, well, yeah, I guess I'll stop there because that's then the I just wanted to introduce the the book here, talk a little bit about it. So the next video I'm gonna do, the next bunch of videos I'm gonna do a video for each story. So there'll be short videos. So that'll be nice. I'll be able to go through them quickly. And if someone prefers to watch shorter videos, it'll be nicer for them. So yeah, the stories in here are really short. Yeah. Yep. These are all really short stories. So that might have been another reason why I liked reading these, because it was less of a commitment uh, to read nice short stories. And yeah, I do like in general, short story collections are nice because you can go through them quickly. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing a series of videos about this book. Some scary stories.